Hello. So today I'm going to try something different and I'm going to have a go at my first ever English past paper. So please watch the video, let me know what you think, and then I can, based on the feedback, decide whether I'm going to have a go at some more of them. So I'm starting off with the Pearson Edexcel exam board. We're going to do the reading paper for entry 3. This is past paper 1. So move this over here, so we've got the piece of text for the first few questions and the first couple of questions here. IT course, Hanton College, Hanton, HT1, 6RZ, and then we've got the phone number there. Our autumn IT course begins on 16th of September 2019. Students will be in college from Monday until Thursday each week and attend work experience on Fridays. We will provide a list of suitable employers for work placements. To apply for the course, you must have basic computer skills, be available to study full-time for 3 months, be able to travel to your placement. On the course, students will 1. Learn how to build a website and develop simple games. 2. Increase their knowledge of spreadsheets and databases. 3. Be given details about jobs and careers in IT in November. And 4. Achieve a recognised qualification to help them find a job. How to apply. Complete the form on our website at www.hantoncollege.biz/IT course. If you have any questions, speak to our course coordinator on 0004 378 701. Okay, always good to read the text first of all. So now we're on to the first question. Write your answers on the lines below. Name 2 days of the week when students will need to be in college. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have a look through the text, looking for some key words. So when they need to be in college. Okay, so let's sort of see what, or anything that refers to maybe days of the week. Okay, students will be in college from Monday until Thursday. Now, it doesn't say need on here, but from the way that it's written, we can see students will be in college. So we can take that to be the same thing. And it's from Monday until Thursday each week. So that means Monday and every day after it and up to Thursday. So in other words, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, they've just asked us to name 2 days of the week when students will need to be in college. So any 2 of those days will work. So we might as well go with the first 2. And we'll put Monday and Tuesday. Now, put a tick in the correct box. Question 2. Which one of these statements is true? You need basic IT skills to apply. We're going to do these one at a time and let's see if we can find them. Which one is true? You need basic skills to apply. So we've got a section here, to apply for the course, you must. So we're going to look at these bits. The first one says have basic computer skills. So we need to know that IT, or information technology, basically means computer skills. You might know it as digital skills, but that's the connection we're making there. So we think it's probably this one. But let's have a look at the others as well. The IT course is full-time for a year. This says be available to study full-time for 3 months. So doesn't look like it's that one. 3 months isn't a year. You need qualifications to apply. Be able to travel on your placement. So in this section, it doesn't mention any qualifications. So we can see if we can find anything. Students will be in college. We'll provide a list of employers. Nothing about qualifications. This is what you're going to learn to do. I can't see any mention of qualifications on there. So that doesn't appear to apply. And the work placement is on Thursdays. So we can look for that word placement, see if that helps. We'll be in college Monday until Thursday. Attend work experience. So we're using a different word here. But work experience is going to mean the same thing as placement mean the same thing as experience here. Okay, and that's on Fridays, so it's not on Thursdays. So we're going to stick with the original answer we thought. It does mention qualifications here. It says students will achieve a recognised qualification. So it's not talking about you needing to have one already, but that's what you'll get after completing the course. Question 3. You may use a dictionary to answer this question. We will provide a list of suitable placements. What does suitable mean? Okay, so let's have a look. We're allowed to use a dictionary. Got a dictionary here. So we want to find suitable. So I know it's in the second half of the alphabet. It really helps when you're looking at words as well to be comfortable with your alphabet and where to find your words. So S, we're on our S's, SU, so it's going to be after SC, SE, U's after O, our ST, so we're getting close to it now. SU, we want SUI, we've got SUB, SUE. Okay, so I think I'm going to be over on this side. Suitable, suitable. We've got suit down here. Suitable, here we go. Adjective. Well fitted or appropriate. Okay, well, appropriate is one of the answers we've got here. So we can definitely go for that answer. When will students find out about IT jobs? Okay, so we're going to go back to the text. Okay, so when will students find out about IT jobs? So we're going to look for IT or computer course because they seem to be using those terms interchangeably. Be given details about jobs and careers in IT in November. So we can just put in November. You might need to read through a couple of times to find the relevant section and name one, they've put it in bold, so just one thing that students will study on the course. Well, we've got this section where it says on the course, so that feels like that's going to be useful for us. On the course, students will learn, okay, so study, learn, same thing, how to build a website and develop simple games. So, that's what they'll learn. They're also going to increase their knowledge of spreadsheets and databases. So I'm going to put on here spreadsheets. There's a few of those things that you could select, but I'm picking up on this word increasing their knowledge as a replacement for study. So we'll go with the spreadsheets. Okay. Question 6. How do you apply for the course? Okay, well that's going to be important to us. And we've got this section, or this heading for us, how to apply. Complete the form on our website, and it gives the address here. So post your completed form. Well, it says to do it on the website, so we're not going to post it. Email the course coordinator. No, it doesn't mention emailing. Complete the online form. Yeah, that's exactly what it says there. Call Hampton College. No, it says if you have any questions, you can speak to them, but that's not what you need to do to apply. So we're going to stick with complete the online form. Question 7. The main purpose of the text is to, so this is talking about all of this text over on this side here. So it's either tell you about IT careers, give information to Hampton College staff, tell you about the IT course, or give information about Hampton College. Well, it's not really, although the course is at Hampton College, it's not specifically talking about it. So I don't think it's definitely not this last one here. Okay, so it's more about the course than the college. Tell you about IT careers? Not really. It's focusing on the course rather than the careers. You can find out about that on the course, but that's not what the text is trying to do. So, give information to hand to college staff. Well, they're going to get the information when you fill in the form, but that's not the point of this text. That's just part of the process. So the only one that's left, which is hopefully going to be right, tell you about the IT course. Well, absolutely. It's telling you when it is, what you need to have to be able to apply, what you're going to learn, and then how to apply. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at the next text and set of questions. So in these entry papers, we always have 3 texts with accompanying questions. Text B, owning a dog. Around 24% of people in the UK own a dog. They are the most popular pets, although cats and rabbits are well loved too. If you are keen to become a dog owner, there is a lot to consider. What to think about? If you don't have much free time, a dog may not be for you. They need regular walks and lots of attention. Dogs can also be expensive to keep. On top of the initial purchase price, they need food every day. Trips to the vet can be very costly, so you should always buy pet insurance. You must also consider whether you have enough space available for a dog at home. The benefits of owning a dog. Walking your dog will help keep you fit and give you time to relax. You can make friends with other dog owners on your walks. You'll feel safer and less lonely at home. Stroking your dog can help lower your stress levels. Caring for a dog can teach children how to be responsible. They will like taking the dog for a walk and can learn to feed and groom it regularly. Dogs can give a lot of pleasure, but they need care for life. It's essential to think carefully before getting a dog. It's on to the first questions. Or first question, question 8. The text gives advice about where to walk a dog. Not really where. It's not really focusing on that. It does talk about walking dogs. About becoming a dog owner. That feels more like it. I mean, owning a dog. That suggests it's the things that you're going to need to know if you're going to be a dog owner. So feels like it could be this one here. How to choose a dog. They haven't mentioned any dog types at all, so I don't think it would be this one. And why dogs need food. Now, it definitely says it's important to feed your dogs, but it doesn't say why. So we can really see from the title alone, becoming a dog owner is what it's all about. Question 9. Give 2 ways that dogs can cost money. Okay, so we want to find things where it talks about money or cost or expenses. And in this section here, what to think about. They need regular walks and lots of attention. Dogs can also be expensive. Okay, you can underline some of the words when you're going through the text if you want to do it on the first go through, or you can do it as you're answering the questions. So expensive to keep. Okay. So we know they're expensive, so how can they cost money? On top of the initial purchase price. So the first bit is the first thing you're going to have to pay for is the initial purchase price. Okay, so just paying for the dog in the first instance. They need food every day. So we can quote it exactly. They need food every day. If you didn't want either of those, you can also put trips to the vet can be very costly. So we could add that on there as well. So any of those 3, but it only wants you to list 2 of them. Question 10. List 3 benefits of taking a dog for a walk. Okay, so we've got benefits of owning a dog. Walking your dog will help keep you fit. So that's going to be 1. Give you time to relax. And you can make friends with other dog owners. So there we go. We've got the 3 nice and close together there. And you don't need to change the words, you can just write it as it's been given. So keep you fit. Give you time to relax and make friends with other with other dog owners. Okay, there's probably only the three there. We've got other benefits, but it's specifically talking about benefits of taking a dog for a walk. Okay. Question 11. You can reduce your stress levels by taking your dog to a friend's home. So we can have a look. Can we see anything in here about taking a dog to a friend's home? I don't remember anything about that. Let's see if we can find something that rings some bells or reminds us about what we read earlier. Stroking your dog. I remember seeing about stroking. You'll feel safer. Stroking your dog can help lower your stress levels. So definitely that one there. Taking your dog to the vet. So we mentioned the vet, but I wouldn't have thought that would lower your stress levels. And feeding your dog, again, talks about feeding dog, but the only one that's mentioning lowering or reducing your stress levels is stroking. Okay, question 12. You may use a dictionary to answer this question. It's essential to think carefully about getting a dog. Essential means, we've got a few options there. Necessary, worrying, unimportant, or voluntary. Okay, so let's get the dictionary out and we're going to look for essential. So we've got C, well we've got A, B, C, D, E. E, E, V. S comes before V. So EST, we want ESS. So here we go, essential. And the first definition they give is necessary. There we go. Okay, now we're on to our third text. Text C, plastic and the environment. Plastic waste causes big problems worldwide. It gets into the ocean and marine animals mistake it for food. They can also become tangled up in the plastic. Most plastic is not biodegradable, so it increases the amount of rubbish in landfill sites. Follow these tips and help the environment. Try to avoid using plastic drinking straws, carrier bags and cling film. Avoid unnecessary packaging. Buy loose fruit and vegetables and use paper bags to pack them. Some shops encourage you to bring your own container when buying meat or fish. Number 3, always recycle plastic. Make sure you wash out food containers thoroughly before you recycle them. Number 4, equip yourself with a reusable bottle and fill it with water before you leave home. Some cafes run schemes that allow you to refill your water bottle for free. Question 13. List 3 problems caused by plastic. Okay. Well, it starts with plastic waste causes big problems worldwide. Okay. So basically what's following are going to be some of these problems. So it gets into the ocean. We'll go with that as a first one. Marine animals mistake it for food. So that's 2. They can also become tangled up in the plastic. So we've got 3 there already. So we can put it or plastic gets into the ocean. And then we said animals mistake it for food. and they can also become tangled up in the plastic. So rather than just saying they, we can put animals so they know what we're referring to. My writing's quite big, so I'm going on to an extra line there. Okay, there's a few others you could have put. Most plastic is not biodegradable, so it increases the amount of rubbish in landfill sites. Could have put that as well, but I've just gone with the first three that we came across. Name 2 things you should try to stop using. Okay, well, we've got to follow these tips and help the environment. Try to avoid. So stopping using, it would be the same as avoid using. Okay. Avoid using plastic drinking straws. And then we've also got carrier bags. And we've got cling film. So we've got 3 things here, but they just want us to name 2. So we can put plastic drinking straws, and then the second one we had was carrier bags. So 2 things you should try to stop using: plastic drinking straws, carrier bags. Question 15. What must you do before recycling containers? Okay, so we're on to recycling here. Avoid unnecessary packaging. Always recycle plastic. Okay, so that looks like this is the section we're after. Make sure you wash out food containers thoroughly before you recycle them. Okay, so this is the relevant bit for us. So what must you do before recycling containers? We can put wash them because we're referring to the containers. Wash, what was it? Wash them thoroughly before recycling. Okay, that's just gone off the page there. Great, now on to the last couple of questions. Question 16. We can use a dictionary again for this one. Equip yourself with a reusable bottle. Reusable means it can be used once, recycled, used again, or replaced. So I'm going to use a dictionary here, but with this one, we always want to look for clues in the word as well. So reusable. So we've got this prefix of re, so suggesting you're doing something again. So used again looks possible. So let's have a look. Reusable. So R, that's much later in the alphabet. So M, we want N-O-P, Q-R. Here's R-U. We want R-E. R-E-M, R-E-P, R-E-S, T-U, still on R-E-S, R-E-T, nearly there. Let's go over this side. Reusable. R-E-U, reuse, reusable, the adjective. Now for reuse, it's got use again. Okay, and we saw used again. Perfect. Okay. So finally, we got question 17. The main purpose of this text is to give instructions about how to save marine animals, how to recycle more plastic, how to buy meat or fish, or how to reduce plastic use. Well, it does mention marine animals, but that's not the main thing. That's just a part of it, sort of in the opening section here. But then the rest isn't talking about animals. How to recycle more plastic. Again, it talks about recycling here. Point 3. But these bits are about using less of it and packaging for food and things. So I wouldn't say that's the main purpose, but I agree these are two purposes of it. How to buy meat or fish. Again, it talks about meat and fish and good ways to do it, but that's just one section of a whole piece of text here. So hopefully it's going to be the last one, how to reduce plastic use. Well, yeah, it's telling us the issues with plastic, and then it's giving us ways we can reduce. We can reduce by not using these items. We can reduce by using different or reusing containers for fruit and vegetables, recycling. So absolutely, we're going to go with that last box there. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. So you probably know that I'm much more familiar looking at maths papers, but I need to learn to do new things as well. And I've had a few requests from some of you, so I thought, well, let's give it a go and see if it works. So I really would appreciate your feedback on these. Be as brutal as you want, or constructive, whichever way you want to look at it. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thank you.